He is the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, a distinguished professor of law and seasoned public servant with extensive experience in governance, security and international law. Having served as Cabinet Secretary for Interior and a long-serving senator, he brings deep expertise in leadership, policy and national development. Please welcome His Excellency Professor Kithure Kindiki.
Thank you very much. Be seated. I think after Rebecca succeeded in what her intention was, she forgot the other people around. Brothers and sisters, it is a great honor and privilege to welcome those of you who are coming from outside Kenya to Kenya. This is your home, and all of you therefore should feel at home. Africa is one connected home for all of us, and even for those from outside Africa, you are also at home. The world is also a connected family. Feel at home. We are deeply honored to host representatives from, I am told, over 30 countries who are gathered here in a spirit of purpose, ambition, and continental partnership. Your presence in Nairobi sends a very strong message that Africa is ready to shape its own digital future. Africa is ready to build together. Africa is ready to move from conversation to execution, from pilots to Pan-African reality. I've also looked at the theme of this conference, Uniting Africa's innovation for an inclusive digital market. And this theme, to me, speaks to the promise of this continent. It speaks to the reality that no African country, however ambitious, can fully unlock the digital economy potential in isolation. For many years, African countries have pursued digital transformation with determination. We have built systems, expanded connectivity, digitized services, supported startups, and trained young people, yet too often our gains have remained fragmented. So we must resolve the fragmentation problem of our solutions. We have built progress country by country, platform by platform, regulation by regulation. Yet, we have not extensively explored collaboration on the digital front. The next phase of this endeavor demands something bigger, some greater alignment, interoperability, trust, and a newly true African digital market. This summit, therefore, it's not just another gathering on technology, but rather a working session for directing our continental trajectory in the ever-dynamic digital space. Today, this conference is calling us to ask a number of critical questions. How do we safely and securely connect our infrastructure across borders? How do we make data move safely and lawfully across our region? How do we make payments efficient, cheaper, and more trusted? How do we support African innovators to scale beyond their home countries? How do we ensure that the digital transformation reaches the village, the farmer, the student, the micro trader, and small business owner, and the public servant? Those are the questions. And these are not just technical questions. They are socio-economic and governance inquiries central to the future of Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, in Kenya, we have learned that digital transformation must rest on practical foundations. It must be built on infrastructure. It must be backed by public policy. It must be supported by skills. It must be designed around citizens and businesses. This is why, through our Ministry of Information, Communications, and the Digital Economy, we are pushing, as the government of Kenya, major initiatives such as the digital superhighway, which we want to expand by a new 100,000 kilometers. Already we've done 30,000, and we are on course to build the balance. We are also on the Kenya Digital Economy Acceleration Project. We are also building ICT hubs across the country, targeting 1,450. We've completed 382 of these hubs across Kenya. 400 others are almost complete. And the balance, of course, is within our plans. And we are also creating public Wi-Fi hotspots in various parts of the country. We are also training our young people in digital skills and also improving our innovation infrastructure. And today, we can confidently say that this approach is delivering results. Kenya has emerged as one of Africa's leading digital economies and a globally recognized innovation hub. I am sure for the rest of the countries represented here, you also have good things, success areas that we can, all of us, learn from. Our digital economy here in Kenya contributes an estimated between 7 and 8% to the GDP. We are on our very clear targets of achieving double-digit growth in terms of contribution of the digital economy to our GDP. We are home to one of the world's most successful mobile money ecosystems, M-Pesa, and you've heard from the horse's mouth, Peter Ndegwa, a great son of Africa, and who is running a great company, and one of our pride in this continent, in this space, especially of mobile money transfer system. And what the M-Pesa is processing in terms of transactions, other than what my old friend Julie Gishuru gave. Julie, I didn't know you came here. I've not seen you for 20 years. Other than those statistics that Julie Gishuru, our sister Julie Gishuru gave, M-Pesa is processing transactions equivalent to 50% of Kenya's GDP every year. It is that phenomenon. Kenya's startup ecosystem continues to rank among the top in Africa, attracting global investments. And those colleagues who spoke here in the panel spoke very eloquently about the need for investments and partnerships. I'll speak to that as I end my remarks. But let me say that we, as a country, have made some progress in digital public services. We have an e-citizen program where citizens access government services digitally, and they pay digitally. And we have removed paper transactions, improved our revenues, increased transparency, and made the delivery of public services more convenient. And I think this is one of the areas where we have also something we can share with the rest of the continent. We now have e-citizen, where millions of Kenyans can access government services seamlessly and efficiently. We are also making investments in connectivity. Kenya now boasts of 90% of our population has 4G internet connection. That's 90% of our population, and we are expanding this through our fiber infrastructure, as I have said, under the Digital Superhighway Initiative. On digital skills, we continue to build one of the youngest and most tech-enabled workforces, with thousands of young people are trained annually through a number of programs, Ajira program, Jitume, digital hubs programs, and others. These efforts are not only about technology, but they are also about inclusion, about jobs, about access, and national productivity. By expanding our digital superhighway, by providing digital spaces for young people to access digital services and e-commerce, we have created 300,000 jobs in the last few years. We want to expand that to 1 million jobs through this initiative of digital jobs. Kenya's ambition does not stop at the border. We see our digital future as inseparable from the digital future of the region. Peter has already told us Safaricom is in Ethiopia and in 7 other markets in the region. So we are connected to the region and to the world. That is why Kenya is actively engaged in regional efforts to build a more integrated digital economy. Through the East Africa Regional Digital Integration Project, our region is working towards a stronger broadband connectivity and a better enabling environment for cross-border digital services. Through the East African community, there are ongoing efforts to harmonize cross-border data flow frameworks and build common standards for cross-border payments. The same is going to happen under now the Africa Continental Free Trade Area arrangement, the same that we are now doing under EAC. Regional and continental digital integration remains an urgent call for all of us. Our nations cannot afford digital islands. The future certainly belongs to those consolidating efforts towards connecting policy with infrastructure, infrastructure with enterprise, and enterprise with the people. Ladies and gentlemen, as has been said by other speakers, we have talent, we have ideas, we have innovation, we have passion. What we must now build is a bridge between innovation and practical delivery. I am encouraged that this summit is not just about discussion, but about structure. I therefore urge us to come up with actionable outcomes, digitally connecting Africa, embracing innovation, and decisively advancing our collective efforts towards a sustainable and futuristic digital continent as a matter of duty. Having listened to the very eminent panelists that in 20 minutes discussed quite an array of things that we need to do, I just want to echo all the great ideas that were discussed here. From where we sit as Kenya, we see 5 priorities which were summarized by the panelists. And this is around people, it's around technology, it's around partnerships, and you can infuse there human capital and the software, which is our value system. Because what I have learned here is that the people must be at the center of Africa's future and the future of the world. And it's the people in terms of inclusion. The people, the entire spectrum of the people must help us define our future, including the youth, including women, including all shades of, all segments of the people. But technology is going to remain the biggest driver of the future. Look at the 10 most successful companies in the world. Many of them are technology companies, and it's going to remain that into the future as we abandon the traditional way of doing things and going into technology. But it's also about partnerships, because the public sector does not have enough resources to meet the demands for Africa's future, both in terms of financial resources, but also human capital resources. We do not have enough intellectual and human abilities to drive the demands of the future, and we do not have enough resources, because the opportunities for increasing domestic mobilization of resources through taxation is becoming constrained. That window is becoming constrained. The opportunity of mobilizing resources through debt, through borrowing, is also becoming constrained. And there are only three ways in which you can mobilize resources. You either tax people more, you either borrow, or you become innovative. And this is where the space of the PPP arrangements come in place, where we get we assure the private sector to invest their money in the provision of public goods and services. All the private sector needs is stability, predictability, assurance that they will recoup their capital. They will help us do the infrastructure that we require and look for the change that we need. And what I've learned from the panelists is that we are not just talking about public-private partnerships, but we are expanding it to public, private, and people partnerships. So the 4 Ps. That shows you I was listening. Our sister Secretary General for the DCO and the other panelists, that shows you we were listening and listening very carefully. And therefore, that is what we see as going. And I want to commend Minister William Kabogo and my other colleagues, PS John, Engineer John Tanui, the team at ICTA, for putting this together. And thank you very much for pitching for Africa and pitching for technology. And I want to end there because my work was to open the event, was not to lecture or teach you, because you, in fact, I wish I had more time. I would have wanted to listen to the brains around here and pick more ideas, because we've said, us in the public sector, we do not have the monopoly of ideas and knowledge. We do not have the monopoly of resources, and that's why our partnerships are very important. Looking around here, I see all of us are here, government officials of different cadres. I see diplomats, development partners, captains of industry, private sector, everybody is here. And I hope the next one, you'll also invite someone from we need to see a bit of inclusion. We want to see users of ICT technology from the depths of Africa who can come and also address a meeting like this about their experiences, what they are doing, using ICT in their businesses and other things that they are doing from the countryside. Ordinary folks who would never have imagined that technology can bring them the kind of inclusion that they are experiencing. I have seen wonderful startups generated by young people who are not the urban type, not the ones living in Nairobi and other cities, but these are startups which have been developed by young people who are from the depths of our countries. And the only thing that enabled them to develop that startup or that business idea is availability, connectivity, access to internet, and access to infrastructure, the devices that they use to do their job. With those many remarks, I bring you greetings from President William Ruto, and I declare this 15th Connect Africa Summit officially opened on behalf of the government of Kenya.
Big round of applause once again. We are now ready for the launch of some very critical items. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the government of Kenya sees interoperability as key to delivering services that are efficient, connected, and truly centered around citizens. That's why the government Interoperability Interoperability framework was developed, and so we are going to witness this. Let's have the countdown. So together, I'd kindly request, ready? Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Give us sound, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. That's the government interoperability framework, developed to create a clear, standardized way for systems across ministries, departments, and agencies to seamlessly share data and work together securely. And we'll now move straight to the photo session. We'd kindly request Your Excellency to come to the front. For the rest of us, we can kindly take our seats.